MCO will be here tonight. One thing not mentioned is the fact that, as is true of many other candidates that you've heard from tonight, I am a lifelong resident of Cecil County. I graduated from the public school system here from Perryville High School. I have, apart from my 8 years as state attorney, the past 2 terms, I have experience working in Kent County, Maryland as a deputy state attorney 4 years. And prior to that, I worked approximately 13 years as a part-time assistant public defender. I have either represented and/or prosecuted persons charged with every type of criminal offense in the state of Maryland, from disorderly conduct to homicide, including first-degree murder. We've seen a number of positive changes in our office the past 8 years. We've significantly increased the number of felony prosecutions, having doubled that as being charged or indicted by my predecessor. We've tripled the number of child abuse prosecutions. We were fortunate to be able to hire through a grant a child abuse prosecutor, a designated child abuse prosecutor that handles exclusively only those cases. The county eventually picked out that position, so that position is now secure and continues to provide dividends to our office. We implemented a bad check referral program that over the past 4 years has returned about $225,000 to Cecil County merchants. We also initiated a mediation referral program for qualifying misdemeanor cases in district court. I would suggest to you that I think the past 8 years, by and large, have been good for prosecution here in the county. To be sure, we don't win every case, and unless we start cherry picking them, we never will. I will tell you that my opponent is a challenging conviction rate. I would ask that you ask him how would he improve upon that rate, which cases will he not prosecute. Understand one thing, ladies and gentlemen, I don't dream up the cases that I present to the grand jury. They are brought to me by police officers such as you see here in this auditorium tonight, Jason Crawford, Mike Sack, and others, and I would ask that you consider me for re-election in November. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next candidate tonight is Ellis Rollins. Ellis is a lawyer in private practice here in Elton. He's a graduate of McDaniel College, received his law degree from the University of Baltimore. Ellis, his wife Holly, live in Perryville.
Fair trials, firm justice, and no excuses. That's my promise to you if you elect me to the position of state's attorney. I'm going to go right to what I think the fundamental problem is with the present administration. And we've identified 3 things that I think need to be addressed and addressed immediately. For the past 3 years, hundreds of drug possession cases have been dismissed or not prosecuted by the state's attorney's office. Now, there are a number of explanations that are advanced. The court schedules cases too quickly. They don't get, the police officers don't do things in a timely fashion, and or they don't get the test results back from the drug analysis lab in a timely fashion. That problem is ongoing today. It's still happening today. There's not been a solution to that problem. And these people, when you put them back on the streets, I got to tell you, they laugh at us because they know that they're not going to be prosecuted. They're not only are they going to be prosecuted, they're not going to go to jail. There's not going to be any repercussions whatsoever. They're going to go back in the streets, and these are the kind of people that commit other petty crimes to fuel their habits. Now, the state's attorney will tell you that the primary problem is with getting the lab results back from the analysts down in Pikesville. And he will tell you that that system isn't going to change. So he's going to wait. He actually said in a letter to the editor, he's going to wait for better financial times to solve the problem. Well, guess what? I got a better idea right now. Here's what I'm going to suggest. I've already talked to several of our county commissioners about funding a position now in Cecil County to deal with that problem. We'll take somebody from the ranks of our deputies, somebody we already employed, and we'll train them to do these analyses so that we've got the information back that we need when the time comes so we can prosecute these people. And then I'm going to take it a step further. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to pay for that. I don't want it coming out of my taxes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our legislative delegation, and I'm going to ask them to introduce legislation in Annapolis requiring the judges at sentencing to mandatorily impose a fine on these people, on these drug offenders. And that fine goes back to Cecil County to compensate us for the upfront costs that we had to put up to do the analysis. Now, it seems to me that your choice really is pretty clear. Do nothing, as the present administration is doing, or be proactive and take the bull by the horns and solve the problem. That's what I'm going to do. The second problem that we see, and this is what really galvanized me to want to run for state's attorney. By my last count, there are 7 murder or attempted murder charges that have resulted in not guilty verdicts here in Cecil County. Now that means one of 2 things to me. Either the person that was charged should not have been charged because the facts don't support it, or the person was guilty, got away with it, and the state attorney's office didn't prove it. Neither one of those scenarios is acceptable to me. I see the little blue laser. The last thing that I want to say, I am told that we have a very serious gang problem here in Cecil County. Now, I don't know if the present administration has a plan for dealing with it, but I can tell you right now, my position, my plan is real simple. 0 tolerance. None. 0. We'll send them back where they came from. We'll warehouse them if we have to. But they're not coming into our schools and disrupting things. I'm excited about the possibility of doing this job. People say, you've never been a prosecutor. How are you going to do that? Well, I've represented thousands of people over the last 30 years in different kinds of crimes. And the first thing I do in every case is I look at it from the perspective of what does the state's attorney have to prove? I prepare my case from the perspective of the state's attorney. And that's what I'll continue to do. That's what gives me the experience needed. Thank you.
So that concludes that segment. Let's have a big round of applause for